There are so many items you can actually sell on eBay in 2025, and some of these videos you see on YouTube are actually influenced by what the content creator sells. You know, if you see somebody that sells clothing, most of these videos will be influenced by the fact that the content creator has already sold a lot of clothes, has an idea or two about what kind of clothes are selling. And the last video I saw, somebody was also selling books and telling you the kind of books that sell. I felt like since I sell electronics, I can actually, you know, make a very short video, very unplanned. Actually, I'm just in the warehouse now. I'm done for today. Ideally, I should already be on my way home, but I felt like this is something I can easily knock off with the aim of just giving value to somebody, because I'm aware there might be somebody out there, you know, trying to see how you can begin to, you know, come into eBay, trying to sell stuff. You are kind of confused. You do not know where to even start. If you go onto YouTube, there are so many videos telling you this is something you can sell, this is something you can't sell. In any case, I felt like, okay, since I sell electronics, I'm just going to tell you that, look, from my experience doing this, I can pretty much tell you that one item that you can sell right now on eBay for a lot of profit is just to sell computers. Computers being very, very specific. But if you want to have a general idea of the kind of items you can sell, I'm going to tell you that, look, IT hardware as a whole is something that you can actually sell for profit on eBay. Don't get it wrong. I'm just going to be upfront with you. There are a lot of tactics to doing this. You know, sometimes these items might be difficult to get, but like I always say on this channel, if you've been following me for quite a long time, you will pretty much have understood that I tend to say, if you stay long enough, you know, on this game, you're going to figure out certain things. And when you figure out things are just going to definitely be easier for you. So telling you that computers are things to sell doesn't make it in any way easy. Of course, there's a lot of work to be done, but if you're looking at items that can actually be sold for profit, like a lot of them, computers, you know, laptops, phones, you know, tablets, you know, and the accessories that these items uses, like cables, you know, the chargers for these hardwares, you know, graphic cards, you know, SSDs, you know, RAM sticks, processors. These are things that pretty much sell for a lot of money on eBay. Are there competitions? Definitely, yes. But if you're looking at a category that you can actually build your business around, a category where you are constantly going to be having people looking for your items, I want to think, in my own experience, that computers and computer hardwares is just a category that you can actually, you know, zoom in on. See, guys, there are a lot of things going on in these categories. Every day on eBay, there are countless transactions, you know, going down. People buying laptops, people buying, you know, desktop PCs, you know, mini PCs, you know, small form factor PCs, you know, tiny PCs, just name them. People are actually buying this because there is pretty much just no house today that doesn't have one of these items I'm just telling you about, you know. And sometimes these items pretty much are not luxury items. You see, when somebody has a broken laptop, it just becomes almost impossible for the person to work, because we are in the day and age where everything is pretty much just done on the computer. You know, you want to look for a job, you have to do it on a computer. You want to write an email to someone, yes, people can do it on their phone. This is the reason why phones are also very hot cakes on eBay. You want to watch somebody's YouTube video, you're going to be doing it on your laptop, on your desktop PC, or on your phone. You know, there's no alternative to this thing. So when people's, you know, hardwares are broken, they kind of feel a lot of discomfort, and most times they want to go out of their way to just get a new one. You know, when people have, you know, broken jeans shirts or jeans trousers, they could easily throw it away and just decide not to wear it anymore and just manage whatever they have. But when your hardware, when your phone is broken, you just tell me, where are you going to start managing from? It's just going to be almost impossible, you know, for you to begin to think of even managing. So because of that, you're going to take whatever money you have, you're going to look for a replacement. And because we're living a day and age where people do not just have a lot of purchasing power, people are open to buying used items. And this is why these items are kind of very hot cakes. You know, people are not so, you know, financially okay to just go ahead and buy a new laptop right now. They might not be able to boast of a desktop PC with the best configuration, but if you go to the used market, this is something that a lot of people can easily pull off. You know, we're talking about 300, 400 euros or $400, depending on where you live. You can actually get a very decent, you know, PC right now that boasts of some of the best, you know, configurations, even with a graphic card. You know, because of that, people are just on the lookout for these items. And because we are also living in a time where people, maybe because they need some bit of action, they just want to play games on their computer. The days of gaming on console, I'm not going to say that it's totally gone, but people have just found out that, look, with a few dollars or a few euros, you can actually build yourself a gaming PC that will play a lot of A-rate games, A-title games. And because of that, the gaming PC trend is still very much on. People that do not have 600 or 700 euros to buy the latest consoles can actually pull this off by just buying computers. And because of that, they are always on the lookout for things like graphic cards, SSD, RAM sticks. These accessories are just hotcake, and there's just no limit to the amount of transactions or the things you can sell in this category, which is, desktop computers, laptops, computer accessories. These are the things that you want to look out for. Like I said in the beginning of the video, yes, there's a tactics to this. Sometimes you have to have some bit of knowledge to know the particular items that sell. But if you are subscribed to this channel and you're watching this channel on a daily basis, because in the last week now, I pretty much put out content on a daily basis, you are ultimately going to figure out some of the items that sell, because these are the items I sell on a daily basis. I sell pretty much on a daily basis, a desktop computer or a laptop, if things are good. Last week was an exception because from nowhere, things just kind of went on cricket mode. But when things are going smoothly, selling a computer for 300 or 400 euros is not something that's strange to me, because I understand that people need these hardwares. People need these accessories. Whenever I list a processor, they tend to sell very, very fast. Whenever I list SSDs, NVMe SSDs, SATA SSDs, they tend to sell very fast. Whenever I list mainboard power supplies, they tend to sell fast because people needs this stuff. If somebody has a desktop PC and the power supply is broken, I'm telling you, 24 hours is too much for the person to decide to buy a replacement. If the person is sure that the problem with the desktop PC is the power supply, they're going to go ahead and buy it. It doesn't matter if they only have 50 euros or $50 left in their bank account. They need to buy it. They're not going to be comfortable sleeping knowing that the PC on which they have all their life's files is not working. They want to put it on as soon as possible. And if you have a power supply for that particular model listed on eBay, they will sell. You see, this is not something that you buy and begin to think, when is this item going to sell? Of course, we have the data there. eBay has also been kind to us to give us an impression of what sell. Only if you do your due diligence of just checking the research tab on eBay to see what transactions have gone down in the last 7 days, you can actually, figure out the things that sell, and now just laser focus in on how do you get those items. Of course, some people try to sell computers, but they are discouraged. After about 1 or 2 months, they kind of throw in the towel because they feel like it's so hard to get this item at a price for which you can actually go ahead and resell them. But I tell you, if you stay long enough, refining your processes, trying to really establish relationship with people, because 50% of the success that you record in this category is just how good you are able to build relationships. Sometimes you go out thrifting, you go to the flea market, you see people selling stuff like cameras, laptops. Get close to them and ask them questions. Do you sell this on a professional level? Do you have, other supplies? Are you able to guarantee the items that you sell? If you are able to guarantee me good quality items, I do not mind coming to you, on a weekend and see how we can actually, make things happen. I buy from you and just be in business together. And sometimes people are also so lazy to just go onto the classified ads of places like Craigslist if you live in the US, or Kleinanzeigen if you live in Germany, and just put up an ad. Hey guys, I buy desktop computers from this age, maybe from this processor model and above. I buy them for cash. If you can guarantee that the PC is in good working condition and you are open to shipping these PCs to me at my home address, I'll be able to buy it from you. People just don't want to do this work, and this is the reason why a lot of people just want to settle for the easy way out, which is going to, some garage sale and just buy the things you see. Some of these things that you buy, first of all, there's not a lot of profit to be made there, and secondly, these items, you just buy them, you do not know when they will sell. Keep listing them, putting a lot of work just listing them, and they never ever get to sell. But if you focus your effort in getting, 5 good pieces of a mini PC, a mini PC, for example, a Lenovo ThinkCentre M720Q that is currently in demand right now for a very good price, you have every guarantee that you are going to sell the item. Go onto eBay, you pretty much see that in the last 7 days, these items have sold. And I'm not telling you about, items that sold like 1 or 2 pieces. Sometimes you see 20, 26, 30 pieces of this item selling. And the beautiful thing about this, category is that, it's not something that you can just continue to have an unlimited supply of. If a particular, reseller now has a computer, perhaps he has like 10 or 20 pieces, you have the option of also selling yours. If you go to the clothing category, sometimes some people have like 300, what's 300? Like 500 pieces of a particular jeans. And sometimes they just keep selling it. You never can tell when the seller is going to finish selling. And if you go to the area of replenishables, this is a different transaction altogether. But most times, from my experience, if a particular seller has computers, sometimes you see they have it like 20 pieces, 30 pieces. And if it's a particular product that sells very fast, the seller is going to be sold out in a matter of weeks, which gives you an opportunity to also sell your items. So if you are right there now, you are not so sure in what category or what items to focus on, I want to tell you, selling computers on eBay is one decent category that you can actually focus on. There's a lot of money to be made, just like there's a lot of work to be done. But if you are saying, I do not care, I'm able to do the work, then I want to tell you, go for it. And this channel is meant to show you a lot of behind the scene of how I flip computers for profit. Yes, it's a quick video. I hope it helps you. If it does, consider subscribing to the channel. Until I see you again in the next one. Peace.